Has there ever been a time in your life when you left a massage therapist and felt bad? Surely you have heard of these kinds of stories, and if you're a massage therapist, it is quite possible that this has happened to your clients. A person comes out with pain and thinks, why did I go for a massage? There's no benefit from it. Only harm, and I'll never go for a massage ever again. The point here is not that massage is harmful, but the point is that people have worked in some of the wrong ways, or have worked with some areas that are not worth working with at all. This video will be dedicated to what places you should not work with at all, and what places you should not use certain techniques. I'm Stanislav Chernonog, author and creator of the online school of Vector Massage and Somatics. Let's see what and how not to massage. In the first place that you shouldn't work with, or to be precise, you should work with great care, is the base of the skull. The fact is that the vertebral artery is located at the base of the skull. This is a cephalic artery that supplies blood to our brain and, accordingly, at the base of the skull. The vertebral artery passes under short extensors. These are specific muscles that are very often tense, and accordingly, if we start to squeeze short extensors, they are not in order. This will lead to the fact that the passage of blood through the vertebral artery will be disrupted, and as a result, cerebral circulation will be disrupted. Another dimension of the problem will be that if you have used short extensors, the effect of them becoming inflamed and starting to feel bad will manifest itself in a few hours. That is, now we are working with the patient. Now the patient does not feel anything specifically bad, but after a while, after a few hours, by the evening, a person may get a headache. And if this person is elderly with blood pressure problems, it may even be life-threatening. Let's see where this zone is located. This zone is located just above the level of hair growth. The catch in this zone is that it is extremely important for human health. This is a very powerful tool, and as always, when we have a strong tool, it can be potentially dangerous. Never climb into the base of the skull unless you have experience and understanding of how it is anatomically made. Sometimes there's a situation when people put a lot of pressure, for example, on the upper cervical vertebra. This could theoretically lead to the displacement of the atlas. Let's take a look at this area. This is the area of the mastoid process. If we move a little bit down and back, then we find the transverse process of the atlas, and in principle, it is also worth not pressing on this zone if you do not understand how it works, because all this can lead to displacement of the cervical vertebrae. If you work from this zone extensively active, you run the great risk of causing complications and losing your client. The second zone, from which it is absolutely impossible to work with if you do not understand what you are doing, is the lymphatic system. We remember that the lymph nodes are extremely long and supply the front surface of the neck. The front surface of the neck is a place that you want to work with because there's often tension of the sternum muscles, there's tension of the subcutaneous muscles of the neck becomes stringy, dry, and ugly. In addition, there are nerves that innervate the upper extremities in the diaphragm, and therefore I really want to work with the front surface of the neck. But many cases from the practice of my clients say that people climb into this zone not understanding why it is so important and dangerous and cause deterioration of the lymphatic system. At one of the previous shoots dedicated to the sponsored channel, we were shooting another video dedicated to the lymphatic system, and Nikolay, the producer of the channel, who was standing behind the camera, began to repeat the movements behind me. Unfortunately, he did not watch the first videos, and as a result, did not work the way he should, and the result was that the next day, a hefty bump came out. It was an inflamed lymph node. The lymph node was hurting, and my beloved producer was very worried because he didn't know if everything was going to be alright with him. Indeed, it may not be alright if there's some kind of chronic infection in the head or in the nasopharynx in the ears. Then this chronic infection can spread throughout the body with dramatic consequences. And it is not that you can't work from the front of the neck, but there is a strictly defined sequence. If we break it, we take a big risk. As always, when it exists, a strong tool is dangerous, and at the same time, it allows you to solve a lot of problems. For example, working with the lymphatic system, the neck allows you to solve the problem of chronic inflammatory infections in the nasopharynx, in the ears, and allows you to improve the condition of the skin, allows you to improve the condition of puffiness, and generally outline the oval of the face in a completely different way. A massage therapist who wants to earn really significant money is obliged to work in this region, and if you don't know how to work with it, it is dangerous for your patient. The next region that we need to work with great care is our kidneys. I understand that at the massage session, you are unlikely to hear, "I want a kidney massage," and nevertheless, people work with this region quite regularly. You need to work with it when you work with a lower back condition. First of all, there is work with the square loin muscle and the transverse abdominal muscle. These two structures are fundamentally important if a person has problems with the lower back. And so, pressing on the top square muscles of the lower back, we risk putting pressure on the kidneys. This is fraught with the fact that the kidney will shift, and we can cause inflammation in the kidney, and in addition, if there are pebbles or sand in the kidney, we can build this sand or pebbles and lead to a very painful experience. It's said that the pain that occurs at the moment when a stone begins to move in the kidneys is one of the most excruciating pains that a person could face in his life. That is why the culture of communication between a specialist and his patient is so important. Almost always, when it is impossible to push somewhere, the patient's body will clearly tell us that something is wrong. If we don't communicate with our patients, then we have no chance to understand that we are doing something wrong. I am proud that all of our students are trained in specifically communication skills, which allows them, if they do something wrong, to clearly understand from the expression of the client's face, according to his words, that something is wrong. This is a skill that is very important to learn. We work with this area, but we look at our patient's eyes all the time and observe how his condition changes. The next area that is categorically dangerous to work with is the zone of the sciatic nerve. There are a lot of muscles here, and you can do it here, especially since it often hurts here, but the area in the middle of the buttock is categorically not recommended for massage because the sciatic nerve comes out here. Very often, the sciatic nerve is pinched by the piriformis muscle, which leads to the fact that it becomes painful. Accordingly, it is absolutely impossible to massage the sciatic nerve because this will lead to an increase in its inflammation and to a deterioration in the general condition of a person. Let's look right in the face of the sciatic nerve. It is located approximately in the middle of the buttock, under the buttock, and accordingly, you can massage the gluteus maximus muscle exclusively at the place of its attachment to the sacrum and ilium. Massaging the middle of the buttock is extremely prohibited unless you are a high-class professional. If you press this area, especially if the person has inflammation there, then with a probability of more than 50%, you'll get an exacerbation, deterioration, very severe pain, and possibly loss of the ability to walk for a while. This is an extremely dangerous region. Please do not go there if you do not understand what you are doing. On a better note, the pancreas is a structure that deals with the balance of carbohydrates, in particular sugar, in our body. The pancreas is located behind the stomach. It is necessary to work with the intestines and abdominal cavity to improve lymph circulation and to improve the digestive system, but the pancreas, which is located just above the navel on the left side, is a place that needs to be worked with great care. This is because the pancreas secretes digestive enzymes. These digestive enzymes gather in the vesicles of the pancreas and exit through the central duct into the duodenum. If we have difficulties with the pancreas, for example, its ducts are blocked. This happens quite often at the moment when we press on the side of the pancreas. We can injure its fragile and delicate tissue and thus cause the spread of digestive enzymes inside the pancreas and can stimulate the appearance of pancreatitis. It is quite obvious that people do not come and ask for a pancreas massage, but when we work, for example, with a figure or with a stomach condition in cases where a person has reflux, like heartburn, or when we work with the diaphragm to improve a person's breathing, with a psycho-emotional state, with anger problems, when we work with the area of the coastal arches and are somewhat lower than the coastal arches, and out of ignorance, we can climb into the area of the pancreas. Approximately at a palm width distance from the lower coastal edge, the pancreatic zone is extremely dangerous. I ask you to write in the comments about your cases of how massage therapists or body practitioners somehow worked with you and this led to an aggravation or deterioration of your condition. This is important not only for me, but also for our entire community of vector massage and somatic schools, so that we understand what problems exist and how specialists from other schools make mistakes and lead to a worsening of the condition of clients. Let's not learn not only from our own mistakes, but from others as well. Write these stories in the comments. Thank you for watching this video until the end. We are constantly working to improve the quality of our videos, and the best things from you, our beloved viewers, will be a subscription to our channel. And with you as always was Stanislav Chernonog, the author and creator of the online school and community, Vector Massage and Somatics. Stay with us on this channel. See you again, friends. Goodbye.